If I don't know how to play I exalt thee, then I cannot play it, right? So there must be something, there is a preparation, and that's what, there's nothing wrong with preparing and practicing a song and doing it in excellence, so that when you are ready, and that's actually good if you, let's say you've got like a band or something in your church, and they all know like 20 songs off by heart. So they can at any time say, this song in this key, and they just go for it. But the way that it's communicated, that doesn't need to be, wait, at this line, everybody lifts up their hands. At this line, people shout. At this line, no, that's where you take the leading of the Spirit to do whatever needs to be done. But if there's no preparation, then there's nothing to give.
Personal worship time, when you're thinking about new songs and things, that you don't need to necessarily research to try and write a song. Once you're in the process and you've got that place where you've got something that you want to do, it is good to prepare and to practice it and to have it ready so that you could do something. But also, like what Jonathan was saying, preparation and practice gives room for spontaneity. So because you are someone who is in the Word, whatever, in your day-to-day life, when then someone spontaneously says, preach, you don't have to try and figure out what's happening now, you just go out of an overflow of your heart. So then in a time of worship, where you're singing songs that you've practiced and yes, you've planned that, okay, today we're going to sing ABC songs, but within that, because you have that practice, there is room now for spontaneity in those times of worship. A new song might come out, might develop, or something might happen within that time. And something that's simple that people can pick up, or whatever God puts on your heart to do, but the room for that happening was paved by the fact that it was prepared. Like preparation, I think, is what makes the way for something spontaneity, yeah. And so, so because you're someone who's prepared, people can call on you to do something because you're someone who's preparing yourself. Not that you've prepared yourself to preach, but you're just prepared in your heart. And I think that's a good principle as well for for deciding people who are in your team or whatever, or people who are going to be involved in music ministry, that they're people who are prepared in their heart. Not necessarily the people who are the most talented, but the people who have the heart for it. Because the thing with heart is that sustains someone in a position, but where you have just talent without character or heart,
Miley Cyrus.
You can.
It's true. She's got talent, but she crashed herself with that wrecking ball. You know.
And so, where you have someone who's got talent but who doesn't have heart, is where you have people that you're talking about, like that. It's just about performance, or it becomes about something else. But if you have someone who has heart, talent can develop. When you've got heart and passion for something, you can develop and you can train voice and you can learn instruments and you can do all that when someone has a willing heart.
Yeah, you're a good example of that. She's looking 2 years.
So I taught myself to play guitar from YouTube. And I wanted to be involved. I wanted to be involved with music and stuff. And when I was at Bible college, the lady that was I guess you want to say auditioning people for the music team will say, we've got lots of singers or whatever, but we also want, can anyone play any instruments? I think because I really had the heart to want to do it, I found on YouTube and started learning and stuff from that. So people can learn instruments and skills and things like that, but you can't necessarily teach someone passion or heart for something. So if there's that, then the gifts and the talents can be developed. Because I think even with whatever you have, so not necessarily, this isn't just just with voices or a choir or however you've set up, is deciding, this is our standards for our team, but we want people who are going to be faithful. If we have practices on ABC a day, you have to attend the practices on ABC a day. If we've decided that service will start at 9, but the worship team has to be there however long before because we want to practice or set up or whatever, then people are faithful to these things. And because when you have a heart for something, you will be faithful with things. And then as you see people who are faithful with those things, then they can be promoted to start to lead those teams and and you know that they've been faithful with whatever you've entrusted them with before, and now they can be faithful with this. And in that way, you're not just developing someone to then be a really great worship singer or whatever, but you're actually nurturing someone and discipling them. You start to disciple your people who are in your worship team, or this applies to, I don't know, stewards or whatever other roles that you have in your church. When you say that these are our standards and this is what we want to hold you up to, you're actually discipling someone to walk in the stuff that they have. Because if they're in Christ, then they have faithfulness in them, they have commitment in them, they have these things that are in them in Christ. But as you discipling is teaching, is
shows people's heart attitude and their commitment.
Yeah.
For example, they've got no way that the parents maybe financially sustain them, like to go to college or something, to university, and so they work hard in school, and then therefore they qualify for maybe a bursary that only pay for the studies, and then they get a temporary job. I see that in South Africa, and then they get a temporary job and they work and study, whereas other people, they've got maybe loads of money in the car and whatever, and they fail the first year, the second time. They are sort of there, but you see that their heart is not really there. But these guys, if they really want to make it, they'll put the effort that is. So if you make something like music practice starts at 8, church starts at 9, you're 5 minutes late and you cannot sing today. And that's just how it is. And I was in a church like that a couple of years ago, like in 2006 and 7, and then after I moved to another town. But at this church, if you are not there at the practice on the Thursday, or on the Tuesday actually, then you cannot sing on the Sunday. And that's just how it is. And then the worship leader decides when you are ready to. You first attend only practices, and when he feels like you're ready, then you can sing on a Sunday. Because even 2 years, if they will never give, this is my last hope. And now somebody, these people, I'm just a face, I'm just a number. But like a greeter door can really, thank you that you are coming here today, you are valuable to us. Well, I really feel appreciated here today. That's a ministry. So, me personally, if I'm like in a church, a worship pastor or something like that, I'll make them work just to show me the commitment. Because the ones that are really committed, those are the ones that I can entrust to you. Does it make sense?
Because when you see the fact that, like, for example, in churches, you wouldn't just let anyone come up to the front and start ministering with it. Because you want to know what's the heart, what are they going to be giving to the people that are here, because you want to take care of them. It's the same thing with worship, because it's not just about who can sing the best, but there's a heart behind it. And you don't realize that there is a law, if you want to say, of impartation. The attitude of a preacher or of people who are taking care of a congregation is going to transfer to the people. That's just a principle. So it's the same thing with worship leaders or people who worship. There's going to transfer. So if the pastor's like in pride or whatever, people, they're going to like breeds like. Do you know what I mean? So it's the same thing with people who you want in other areas of service in your church. And like Jonathan was saying, you see people's hearts, what's really their heart. And the thing is, you don't have to wait until you have 2,000 people to start doing these things. You start them now, because those are the things that it's almost like you're building something for 2,000 people to come into, if that makes any sense. So even if you're a church of 15 people and you have one person who's singing, let that person be faithful with that thing that they're doing. Even if you have 5 people and you have one person at that door, let that person be faithful with whatever it is that they're doing. Because now, as more people come, you've set the culture, the culture of your church has become, people here are faithful and excellent. And so when people step into that, they step into a place where like,
feel what you are doing, you should now let what you want, like feel what you want to do, like what can I say? Like you should concentrate on what you want to do. Don't concentrate on winning, right? Okay, let me
Understand what you're saying.
Like, okay, myself, right? I'm in a praise and worship team, right? At I'm in a praise and worship team. It's not like when we practice our songs, We do not practice let's say today we're going, tomorrow, let's say we practice on Saturday, then we say tomorrow we're going to do the chorus one time, then the bridge one time, then we are going to go to the chorus again. But we practice like we sing, like you have to, we sing like what you want to, how you want to sing the song. Let it flow until from you. Like when we go on the stage now, when we sing, you let it flow from you. You don't have to sing what you have practiced, because like we let each other like if you want to sing, if you are the one who's leading the song, you sing. Like if you want to sing the chorus 5 times, you sing 5 times. Let like what in you, what your heart is feeling like doing, let it do. Because now you feel like you are in the presence of God and you want God to say what you want to say, and let Him say it. You made a routine and one of you goes off track. Now you're looking at him, right? You're looking at him, then you all go off track. But if you now continue with what you're doing, and if you go back into track with others, then you're going to succeed, because you're not concentrating on winning, you're not concentrating on the prize, but you're feeling what you are doing, right? You are like concentrating on what you're doing. You are, I'm a dancer myself. I like dancing, right? And when we dance, when we practice, we do not tell each other like, we have to win, guys, we have to win. No, we tell each other like, let's go and do our best. Let's excite ourselves. Let's be happy with what we are doing, right? You don't have to concentrate on winning, but you have to concentrate on what you're doing and let it be best for what you're doing, right? That's what I want to say.
Thank you. To the best of yourself. Okay. So I realized you guys brought in another aspect whilst we're still discussing the other aspect. So we're discussing on how you come up with songs, how you write songs. Then you basically say you have to minister from within yourself. So and then rehearsals, excellency, and discipline to it. Of which I like that one. I think let's talk a little bit more about that. You could have done something better, you know. It's because maybe you get used, you know, and at times you can never touch the Bible because you think, I preached a lot of sermons and I think you select in your head, you file one sermon, you know, like, okay, I think today I can preach this one. And then you forget about studying, you forget about praying, you just get there. And then when you get there, I've realized, I don't know how many years I've been preaching, but I've realized one thing. If you stand in front of people and you are not prepared, it's going to be difficult.
Exactly.
Usually you deliver something that is substandard most of the time because of that discipline. I've also seen it much when it comes to music. When it comes to people who are leading, you know, music. So you touched about it, but let's talk about it more, especially the discipline part.
Let me just say, like, a message on baptism. The right way is not going and say, okay, this time I'm going to preach on baptism, so let me just look for all the scriptures that's on baptism, because it's not alive to me. I'm just going to give knowledge, right, which puffs up. I'm not going to give something that is alive on the inside of me. But let's say I saw in the Bible, I don't understand what baptism means, so let me study this thing out. And then I studied for 2 years, and then one day I just realized that is what it means. Now somebody asked me, can you in 2 weeks' time, can you preach on baptism? I've been preparing for 2 years for this message on baptism. So now I can do it in excellence because it's alive on the inside of me. So in the same way, God gave His best. Jesus gave the best that He gave, right? In the same way that we give our best. But there is a preparation. I need to go sit down with the music and I need to listen to it over and